Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück bei Star Trek Resurgence. Ja, wir sind hier gerade noch im Hauptmenü. Es geht jetzt weiter mit A Stranger Among Us. Und ja, ich würde sagen, wir gehen direkt mal rein und machen hier weiter. A Stranger Among Us.
There's so much I want to ask you.
There's so little I can tell you. I'm a portal, not a scientist, but I'll certainly do my best. I can only assume this is one of your older starships. One would think, given the importance of your mission, they might send a ship of a more...
Was zum Teufel? Warum? Warum zum Teufel? Na gut.
Decent vintage, but apparently not.
The Resolute is primarily a research vessel, if that's what you mean. Not a warship.
Although she has been known to hold her own in a fight.
Against what?
Something wrong?
Not at all. The galaxy has grown more diverse since the days of the Tacon Empire.
Because you conquered everyone who didn't look like you.
To the contrary, most lesser civilizations willingly joined the Empire to enjoy the benefits of an advanced way of life. But that expansion came with its own set of problems, so I admire your ability to diversify without creating conflict.
Na, siehst du.
That was always our challenge, and perhaps ultimately our downfall.
The Federation prides itself on its inclusiveness. I'd say it's one of our greatest strengths.
As the Vulcans say, infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Interesting. I'd be curious to meet one of these Vulcans.
Kann man einrichten, bestimmt. Weil der ist doch bestimmt mal froh, von dem Planeten weg zu sein.
If this is the best you have, then so be it. To locate this sire, Galvin, I'll need full access to your ship's systems.
Full access?
Huh. You must be out of your mind.
No, I'm right here, completely in my mind. Given this is merely a research ship, I won't be able to find him without it. Perhaps I should have made that clear up front. I'll need to make certain modifications.
I can't promise anything, but let me see what I can do.
Just know, without it, I won't be able to help you.
This isn't gonna fly.
I'll see you on the bridge.
Also ich vertraue ihm.
Captain Solano, I'd like to introduce you to Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Tacon Empire.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Likewise. I can't say I've ever met a portal before. There is no modern equivalent. Not within the Federation, at least.
He's been kind enough to agree to help us find Galvin.
I am at your service. To whatever extent I can be of help.
If nothing else, I'm sure you're happy for a change of scenery.
Ja, genau.
You spent 600,000 years at your posts. That certainly takes an uncommon level of dedication.
We all have our duty.
Of course. But I'm curious. You were stationed there in preparation for what exactly?
Any and all threats to the Empire.
An empire that no longer exists. Which suggests you weren't very successful.
Warum ist er jetzt so ein
You
Arschloch?
needed my help. I didn't come here to be insulted. Perhaps that was a mistake. Be happy to return to Delphi Ardu at any time.
And we do need your help. Absolutely. And we are grateful that you decided to come.
And your captain has an odd way of expressing his gratitude.
I'm merely curious where your allegiances might lie. Clearly it's with the Takan.
Yes, Captain. You have found me out and exposed my true loyalties. To the Takan, not to the Scions of the Flame, who do nothing more than tarnish us in name and reputation and don't deserve to be called Takan. That's why I'm here. And if you'd be so kind as to give me access to your ship's systems, we can get on with it. And you can stop wasting my time.
Access to our systems? That's completely out of the question. Tell me that's not what you promised. We're vulnerable enough as it is. And now we're supposed to give him access to everything? Ridiculous.
I didn't promise him anything.
She made no guarantees whatsoever. I never imagined offering to help would be met with such ignorance.
If you're not enjoying your visit to our ship, we'd be more than happy to let you wither away.
Was ist das für ein dummer Captain, Alter?
Captain,
You clearly do not appreciate the magnitude of the threat the Scions pose. So myopic is your focus on your own ego. I will not be leaving until they have been found.
Commander Ryder, a word.
Ja, halt's Maul, Alter.
To think, I waited 600,000 years for this.
You realize this puts me in an incredibly difficult position.
Warum?
I was against seeking him out from the start. But now, give him access to our systems? It's insane. And you somehow expect me to believe his allegiance is with us? You heard what he said in there. There's no way we can trust him.
we talked about this on Delphi Ardu. The reason he's here is because he's with us, not them. He came to help us, and he wouldn't be here otherwise.
We can't afford to get this wrong.
Ja, dann.
We sought him out for a reason. To help him find our missing crew, Galvin, and those Elydian ships. This is the plan we agreed to with Ambassador Spock.
Which I never liked. But here we are. You know what this mission means to us. Not just for the Federation, but for me personally. I can't afford another screw-up.
Junge.
Losing the shield algorithms was bad enough. This
Sorry, aber es nervt mich langsam.
my career.
I'm sorry, Captain. You know I support you, but millions of lives and the future of the Federation are at stake here. Both of which are more important right now than your career.
It's not just mine. It's both of ours.
Then so be it.
I'm going to trust your instincts on this one. I just hope you're right. For both of us.
Ja, und jetzt halt die Fresse, um auf den Typen zu
Let me
beleidigen.
know if you find it.
Ja, ja.
We're good. You may begin.
I will, of course, have to make a few modifications.
What kind of modifications?
To find Taconian technology requires Taconian technology. If this Scion Galavan modified his ships, then I must do likewise to yours. The galaxy is nearly infinite in size and complexity. This may take a moment.
How
I
long will it
found
take?
something.
Oh.
There you are.
What is it? Galvin?
Someone is using Taconian technology. I can't get the precise bearings, but it's located in the Palisades cluster.
I'll let the captain know. Rydick to Solano. I think Portal may have located Galvin.
I'll be right there.
I'm getting all kinds of interference. Almost impossible to lock on the energy signature.
Where's he hiding?
In the Palisades cluster.
Interesting. Can you lock in on the location?
Not until you get me closer.
Lieutenant Handar, set a course for the Palisades cluster.
Aye, Captain.
Well, I suppose I owe you an apology. You were right after all.
Yeah.
That's what I get for questioning the advice of my first officer. You always have my back.
They say the true measure of a leader is being able to admit your mistakes. So thank you.
Next time I'll do a better job of listening.
Ja,
Nice work. You know, if you
voll
find anything-
Idiot, Alter.
Will do. What's wrong?
I didn't want to say anything until I was certain. But the reason for the interference is simple. There's a Draconian device on this ship being used to block the signal. Whoever planted it was exceptionally clever. They knew how and where to hide it. But they have underestimated my abilities.
Ja, ist dieser kleine Kristall von Miranda.
Take care of the Draconian device, and I can find Galvan for you. It's designed to interfere with all transmissions, or at least delay and confuse the effort to find Galvan's ship.
Why would you trust me with this?
I cannot be sure I trust anyone on this ship, but you and I came to an understanding on Delphi Ardu. That would have to be enough.
Don't worry, I'll get this fixed. We're going to find that ship.
Also die Frage, ob hier ein Tekon auf dem Schiff ist, ich weiß nicht. Also wir werden es wahrscheinlich eh erfahren. Und außerdem ist er ja auf dem Schiff.
I found this device already if it wasn't well hidden. Better to rely on my tricorder.
Ja, aber wir schauen uns trotzdem erstmal auch so um. Werden aber wahrscheinlich jetzt nicht allzu viel hier finden. Also hier wird wahrscheinlich nichts
Noise
sein.
in here. I should scan the device putting out the most radiation to filter it out.
Der Warpkern.
That's better. Most other radiation sources in here are well contained. There's definitely tetrametric radiation nearby. But even with the gain boosted, it's getting drowned out by other sources of radiation in here.
Okay, was ist hier hinten?
A little bit of harmless radiation leakage here, but enough to mask the tetrametric pulses. Easy enough to cancel out. There's still something drowning out the tetrametric radiation.
Okay.
I need to find it so I could filter it out as well.
Okay, da kann ich nicht runter. Dann gehen wir mal auf die andere Seite. Kannst du nicht ein bisschen schneller laufen? Hallöchen. Gut, hier hinten ist nichts. Jeffreys Röhre.
Jeffrey's tubes thump harmonics from all over the ship. I'll filter that out. There we go. I'm getting a clear tetrametric signal now.
Ach, da hinten. Natürlich. Jetzt, wo ich schon gerade da hinten war, ist es jetzt da hinten. Typisch.
Found it.
Ah.
Excuse me, do you belong here? Commander Rydeck. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was you.
Paul. Calloway, right?
Yes, You know, it means a lot that you remembered. What, are you doing back here? I don't mean to pry, but first officers don't usually go digging around engineering compartments.
Sorry, it's not something I can go into.
Right, of course. Forget I asked.
There is one thing you can help with. Have you seen anyone else in here recently that might seem out of the ordinary? Maybe someone who doesn't work in engineering.
Not that I can think of, but I can ask around. I'm here almost all the time, but maybe someone else noticed something?
That would be great. Just Be discreet about it. I don't want anyone to be alarmed.
Discretion is my specialty.
Dann ist ja gut.
Well, I'll leave you alone already. Oh, come to think of it, that Hotari woman was down here earlier with Dr. Duvall finishing the last of the bioscans.
Tylus?
That would be out of the ordinary, right?
Thank you.
Na gut, dann gib mal her.
Maybe Tylus saw something.
Ja, die könnten wir fragen. Wenn wir sie denn finden. Oh, ja. Ist der Doktor hier? Nee, scheinbar nicht. Oh, ich darf rennen. Hallöchen, Sekunde, ich bin gleich bei dir. Oh. Ich kann... Okay, interessant.
Tylus, can I speak to you for a moment?
Of course. Is something wrong?
There's something happening. I may need your help. This is important.
How can I help?
Also,
When you were in engineering with Dr. Duvall, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Or anyone?
Not particularly. Why?
I found this, hidden in a compartment down there.
That's Draconian technology. Does that mean there's a scion on board? But Dr. Duvall bioscanned everyone. Every deck, every crew member. I've seen the logs. She couldn't have been more thorough.
It's entirely possible it was Miranda who planted the device before we caught her.
But we can't assume anything at this point.
richtig.
It could be anyone.
That includes both of us.
You want me to get scanned? Better to know for sure, right? I'll admit, I was around the Scions as much as anybody.
You don't have to do that. I trust you.
If it makes you feel any better, it's not me, I promise you.
I know.
Nee, ich glaube ja auch.
That doesn't mean it's not you.
Okay.
Und ich bin's.
Clear.
Don't sound so surprised.
You spend plenty of time with the Scions as well. You never know.
Let's get to it. The search starts in engineering. Whoever planted the device most likely did it within the last few hours. So I'll start by running a scan, tracking everyone who came through engineering over the last day, in reverse
Oha.
order.
This could take forever to sort through the number of people that were in engineering.
Duplicates?
Filtering for outliers. People who don't work in engineering.
That helps.
Was ist mit Duplicates?
I'll filter out the duplicates.
This is manageable.
Und was ist mit den Hotari Delegations?
Cross-referencing this list with everyone who's traveled to Hotari. Let's see who's left.
Huh.
No, this can't be right.
What?
Of the people that went to Hotari and visited engineering, it could only have been Captain Solano.
According to this, he was here while you went down to Delphi RB4. Which would have been the perfect opportunity. And no one would question him. He's the captain.
As much as I hate to admit it, assuming it's true,
Ja.
it does explain why he was so opposed to getting help from Portal.
And he made several trips to Hotari. So they had plenty of opportunity to target him.
What happened when Dr. Duvall bioscanned Captain Solano?
That's just it. She never did.
How is that possible?
Something more urgent was done. There was nothing she could do. But performing a bioscan is the only way to be absolutely sure.
That's not going to be easy.
Nee.
First thing I need to do is get this device to Portal.
Be careful. And good luck.
Danke.
I'll need it.
Also das wird tatsächlich nicht leicht.
I found the device.
Er zerdrückt es jetzt.
Interference is gone. I have located Galvin's ship precisely. He's in the Usonia system.
So then it worked.
This whole region was one of the most sacred for the ancient Takar. What many consider the birthplace of our civilization. See these comets and planetoids in the outer orbits? Based on their current trajectory, that's Galvin's destination. And legend tells us it's the location of what was once our largest arsenal. Not that we needed it in the late stages of the Empire, but it was there as a precaution nonetheless.
Can you stop him? Cripple their ship somehow.
I'm afraid they are too far away for my powers to reach them.
Okay.
We need to be much closer. And even then, they may have defenses against what I am able to do. If Galvin and the other Scions secure the arsenal, they will become extremely dangerous. My people had such power at the height of the Empire. The Dakan were as gods, keeping absolute control over countless worlds. I must speak with them directly. However, the presence of this device is worrying. It's highly likely it was placed here by a Scion, hidden among your crew. And it is unlikely this interference device was the Scion Saboteur's only trap. If we reach Galvin and the Saboteur cripples your ship, we will be at their mercy. Even my powers will not be able to protect us. Do you know who it is? They may well do more damage if left alone. Time is not on your side.
Na komm.
I'm fairly convinced they bioformed Captain Solano.
I knew there was a reason I didn't like him. That explains it. Bioforming was so rare at the time of the Empire that I am not able to detect if it has taken place. Proof of your claim is something you will have to produce yourself.
Then we have to bioscan him. I'll talk to Dr. Duvall.
Richtig, ja. Warum haben wir das nicht eben, als wir schon... Ach, naja.
It's quite the claim. Told me you were worried about him. I never imagined this was what was wrong.
I wouldn't be asking you if there was any other possibility.
It would explain why Solano has been too busy for a bioscan lately.
As the ship's doctor, you have the authority to declare him unfit to serve.
If you're right, this is the worst case. Challenging your own captain is a tall order.
Mhm.
Are you sure you're prepared for this?
Nein, aber...
If you fail, that's it. The end of your career. Maybe your life.
Ja.
I am. I have to be.
Good. You know what this is going to take. I'm in. We can't pull this off with just the two of us.
Okay.
I technically have the authority to make Solano undergo a scan, but in reality, he can and will refuse to do it. We need at least another member of the senior staff to support him time, or this could all blow up in our faces. You better think long and hard about who you can trust.
Ja, das ist jetzt natürlich schwierig. Spock ist ja nicht da. The Blood of Battle. Spock ist nicht da.
Down to one reactor. Thought we'd be stopped dead. At least stuck at impulse power.
The Takan enhancements must be able to brute force limited bursts of warp output.
Yeah. They won't get to wherever they were headed at this rate. They're just limping along now.
So where does that put us?
Maybe I can answer that.
Ich finde es übrigens interessant, dass wir jetzt einfach diese Leute gerettet haben, diese Alydianer, und das halt letzten Endes jetzt nichts gebracht hat. Weil alle tot sind. Gehen wir hier durch. So, da ist doch was.
the ship's heading?
They've changed course. Drastically.
Looks like they're headed here. Usonia system. They might stop there.
Can we use the Zeldi's comms to signal your fleet?
Comm systems are locked.
Bravo!
Was tun die?
The inertial dampeners can barely keep up. They keep forcing this ship to make these short warp jumps. They're going to tear it apart.
Zeldi is still made by Lydian hands. Spirals to calm corruption. Whoa.
Na, wenn du meinst.
Just gotta stay safe until Starfleet can find us.
Na super. Und the time goes by. Kann man auf dem Tricorder irgendwas zocken?
Your people. Is there somewhere you go when you die?
Life after death? No. On my homeworld, some people think they can cheat death in a way by joining with the Trill symbiont. That's not a life to me.
What about you? Is there another plane of existence for you? With every passing battle, as I get older, I think about it more.
I believe there's an afterlife.
You do?
Yeah.
Then you should understand this. My people have a special journey. When Lydians die, we rejoin our comrades, family, and ancestors.
On the parade grounds of Cirella?
That is just one part of it, but yes. Death is not the end for us. So, even if some part of Itasca remains, by letting the Takan use her body, at best we are delaying the inevitable next step for her. At worst, we are leaving her as a prisoner in her own mind. You want to save the transformed. So do I.
Now that I've seen it happen, does it make me a hypocrite to say he has a point? What if we can't get them back?
Tja.
We can't leave them like that, right?
I think Itasca would want to be released. To think of what she could be going through right now. It's a torturous idea.
What you're talking about is mercy. And that's an honorable goal.
That seems easier to live with than being driven by revenge. I had a sister, twin.
Oh.
It's very rare among the Trill.
You never told me that.
She was one of the youngest hosts to ever join with a symbiont. A sentient creature that lives in our body. It's considered a great honor. The symbiont can bring centuries of knowledge and wisdom to the host. But sometimes, the symbiont personality suppresses the host entirely. My sister was the closest person in the world to me. I knew she would be different after joining. But she drew more and more distant. The room we shared growing up was foreign to the both of us.
Mhm.
And eventually she, or whoever she'd become, cut me out entirely. So I left for Starfleet and swore I'd never go back. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing her. Someone who looked like my sister. Sounded like her.
You should try to see her again. When all this is over. Maybe things have changed for her after you've been away for years.
I couldn't go back. Not now.
Wieso nicht?
You remind me of Itasca.
I do.
Bonds are not made by what runs through your veins, but the blood you spilled together. Itasca was my family in that way. I want you to know there is nothing I won't sacrifice to win this fight. But if we're lucky enough to survive, I'd be honored if you'd count me as one of your tribe.
Süß.
As Itasca was.
Even a couple of engineers like us?
You are many things.
I don't need to wait that long. We've bled together. No one else will know what we've been through. That makes us a tribe. Right here.
I'll take that.
Klingt gut. Ich finde, das macht so ein bisschen...
Don't cease this madness.
Huch.
What is this place?
Is that the Veskar?
Another one of yours?
Not anymore. They've corrupted it. Just like the Zeldi.
Now there are 2 ships. Did this just get better or
Ich
worse?
glaube eher das zweite.
Certainly doesn't bode well for the crew of the Veskar. So many lives stolen.
We're really at the heart of this fight now. We just gotta figure out what we're gonna do about it.
This doesn't look like the Aphelion. What are they doing here?
You don't think they're just meeting their buddies?
Maybe, but then why are their buddies here?
Prepare for transfer.
Fett.
The storm. It's back. What happened?
Hold on. Scanning. Tetrametric radiation is dropping. The Zeldi's dropped to minimal power levels.
It's running off just the one warp core now.
That means
They've sent the Cartabula to that other ship.
Die verlassen einfach das hier und machen mit dem anderen weiter. Die schlauen Idioten. Ja, hier machen wir beim nächsten Mal weiter. Wenn ich hier schon sehe, Meuterei, das wird toll. Also, wir sehen uns in der nächsten Folge. Bis dahin, tschüss und tüdelü.